I'm currently a freshman in college. I came home this past week for a funeral, but let's backtrack a little. My senior year in high school, I was in the library during study hall doing some computer science work on the computer since my laptop at home didn't have Creator on it. Anyways, this boy, who was in my class, sat next to me. Those two computers were the only ones with Creator. He was a really tall, very pale boy. He had long black hair that covered one of his eyes. He wore an anti-flag t-shirt, ripped jean jacket, and Doc Martens. He never spoke to anyone in class, and I had never seen him with anyone else. So, I took a seat. He looked up at me, almost like I had committed a murder. I quickly looked away and started rummaging through my bag, trying to distract myself down as my head was down. I heard him chuckle, then mumble, "Of course." I froze, still looking down at my bag, wondering who he was talking to. I dismissed it, thinking maybe he was just talking to his computer. After all, code can be frustrating. I sat back up and quickly typed in my login details. To break the awkwardness, I said, "She assigns too much homework. I can barely keep up." His gaze stayed locked on the computer screen. "You want the answers, don't you?" he said. I laughed nervously and said, "No thanks, I won't learn anything that way." Usually, I would have said yes, but something about him was off. I didn't want to see that evil stare again. It was like he was staring into my soul. He laughed again. A creepy laugh. So creepy that I had to close my eyes and cringe. When I opened them, I looked over to see he was gone. The strange thing was, he had left his flash drive. I waited for about 10 minutes to see if he'd come back, but he didn't. Study hall ended at 1 o'clock, and it was already 12:50. I decided I would take it and give it back to him tomorrow in computer science class. I threw it in a little box above my bed. Gotta admit, it was an awesome flash drive. It was a Swiss Army knife with the flash drive in the middle. Here's the crazy part, after that, he never came to school again. He was notorious for being absent, but for the first month, no one batted an eye. However, May rolled around, and we were all getting ready to graduate. I had completely forgotten about the flash drive until 2 days ago when I came home. I needed one, and I remembered I still had that boy''s. I scanned it with Norton, and it said it was all safe. I was planning to delete all the files so I could put my PowerPoint for business class on it. Naturally, though, I started snooping through his files. The first thing I saw was a folder named Computer Science. I opened it, and all the answers to every assignment were there. I thought, damn, maybe that's why he left it behind. Maybe he wanted me to copy off him because he knew he wasn't coming back. I went back in. The second folder was called Music. I couldn't resist. I had to open it. Surprisingly, it wasn't what I expected. There were only 3 songs, Running on Empty by Jackson Browne, White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane, and Helter Skelter by the Beatles. I went back again. There was an untitled folder inside it. This one was called AP Literature. Inside, there were a bunch of essays and various other junk. But there was one called The Best Doc. I opened it, and it was merely a 10-page document, filled entirely with his first and last name, written out by hand. I went back again. This is where it gets weird. He had taken pictures of the emergency escape plan posters on the door of every classroom. There was also a picture of a lit cigarette on the bathroom floor, and another picture of some coins, with a yellow post-it note next to it that said chump change in all caps. But the weirdest part was there was a picture of me, taken while I was reading a book in class. From the looks of it, it was my English class that he wasn't even in. There was also a document titled Rest in Peace too, but it was empty when I opened it. I still have no idea if this was some sick joke or not. For all I know, he never showed up again because he realized that he lost his hard drive.